She was already into him. She asked the question. She leaned in. She even touched his arm twice. And he walked home that night thinking, "Nice lady. We had a good chat." That man was 64 years old. He wasn't dumb. He wasn't blind. He just didn't speak the language. And here's the terrifying part. She stopped coming back the following week. That door opened. That door closed. And he never even heard it. If you are a man over 50 and you've ever walked away from a conversation with a woman thinking she was probably just being friendly, I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes. Because what I'm about to show you isn't just about attraction. It's about moments you didn't know you were living in. And today, I'm going to give you 7 of the most misunderstood signals women send to men over 50, and exactly what to say when they do. But before we get there, one warning. The very last signal I'll share today, most men think it's nothing. It's actually everything. Stay until the end because that one alone could change everything. And hey, if this kind of content speaks to you, hit subscribe right now. We talk about real things here, real conversations, real moments. The kind of stuff men like us actually need to hear. Now, let's get into it. The first question catches almost every man off guard. She leans in, maybe at a dinner, maybe at a jazz lounge, maybe just over coffee. And she asks it with a soft smile. "How old are you? Really?" Now your brain hears. She wants to know your age. Wrong. She already knows you're not 30. She can see that. She doesn't need a number. What she's actually asking is, how do you wear your years? Do you carry your age like a weight or like a weapon? And I'll tell you exactly why getting this one wrong is the fastest way to kill attraction before it even starts. I'll come back to that in a minute. A man who squirms, deflects, or jokes nervously. She reads that as insecurity. The moment cools. But a man who smiles and says, "Old enough to know what actually matters, young enough to still enjoy finding it." That man just told her everything she needed to know, not his birth year, his character. I remember a guy, let's call him Rick. Sharp dresser, divorced, 64. He met a woman in a jazz lounge downtown. Good energy between them. She leaned in and asked, "How old are you, really?" Rick, trying to be clever, said, "Too old for you." She laughed, but not the laugh he wanted. The mood dropped 3 degrees in 3 seconds. He told me later, "I didn't miss the joke, I missed the moment." Drop a comment below. Has a woman ever asked you your age in a way that felt like more than just small talk? Tell me what happened. Now this one sounds like she's being nosy, maybe even judgmental. She's not. When a woman over 40 asks a man, "Why aren't you married?" She's not auditing your past, she's scanning your future. She's asking, "Is there room in your life for someone like me?" She's asking, "Are you still capable of real connection?" And here's where most men do one of 2 things, both wrong. They either overshare, diving into every failed relationship like a confession booth, or they shut down. Tried it once, never again. Neither answer gives her what she needs. What she needs is to feel that your door is open, not bleeding. Say something like, "Life kept me moving for a long time, but I've finally got room for something real." Or, "Haven't found the right woman yet. Maybe until now." Gerald, 67, quiet man, good with his hands. He met someone at a community garden. They talked about tomatoes for 3 weeks before she finally asked him, soft as sunlight, "So how come you're not married?" Gerald panicked, mumbled something about things just didn't work out. The following week, she stopped showing up. Gerald called me months later and said, "I didn't realize she was asking because she was thinking about us." That's the pattern I keep seeing. Light on the surface, deep underneath. And we're about to get to one that I guarantee you've completely misread before. Coming up in just a moment. Here it is. The question that makes grown men either puff their chests or shrink. Do you date younger women? Some men treat it like a trophy question. Others wave it off with self-deprecation. Both miss the point entirely. She is not asking about your track record. She is asking, do you see me? Not as a friend, not as a charity, but as a real possibility? The answer that actually works? I don't really date by age. I connect based on energy. Or, What matters to me is how a woman makes me feel, not the date on her birth certificate. Marcus, 59, well-dressed. They met in a bookstore. Coffee turned into 2 hours. She asked the question. He didn't flinch. He just smiled and said, "I like women who bring good energy, regardless of age." Her smile in return? Not polite, hopeful. That night became dinner. Dinner became something more, because he didn't miss the moment when the door cracked open. This is a big one. What would you have said in Marcus's position? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. This one sounds like harmless small talk. It is not. She's not trying to matchmake you. She's not curious about your dating history. She is standing right in front of you, wondering one thing. Am I enough for you? The man who rattles off a list. Oh, I like someone fit, into hiking, loves jazz. Just handed her a checklist she now has to match. The man who says someone kind, someone curious, someone who can still laugh when life gets hard. Just made her feel like she already belongs. Elliot, retired firefighter. A woman he met volunteering asked him that question. Without thinking, he said, "Someone who makes the room feel peaceful just by being in it." Later she told him, "I was hoping I was your type." She meant every word. Now here's where it gets interesting. Because up until now, all these signals come in the form of questions. But there's one signal, the bravest signal a woman can send, that almost every man treats as a joke. I'm going to tell you exactly what it sounds like and what to do when you hear it. Don't go anywhere. She smiles. There's warmth in it. And she says, "Are you always this charming?" Now, most men laugh it off. Say something self-deprecating. Kill the moment. Don't. This is one of the rare times attraction is sitting right out in the open between you. She's not just complimenting you. She's watching how you hold the compliment. The right answer is steady, warm, just a little bit playful. Only when I'm with someone who brings it out of me. Or, I save it for moments that matter. Ami. Alan. Dinner party. A woman leaned in and asked him exactly that. He replied, "That depends. Are you always this curious?" She didn't stop looking at him the rest of the night. This is the bravest question a woman can ask. And most men either freeze, joke, or give a non-answer that leaves her wishing she never said anything. When a woman asks, "Would you ever date someone like me?" she is not making small talk. She is putting her heart right there at the edge of the table. Soft smile, maybe a little nervous. But she's saying it. That is not the moment for wit. That is not the moment to dodge. That is the moment for honesty, warmth, and presence. Say, "I'd be lucky if I could." Simple. True. Enough. Charlie, ex-military. Not a soft man by nature. He and a woman had been slowly getting closer over several weeks. One evening, fading light, quiet street, she looked at him and asked, "Would you ever date someone like me?" Charlie looked at her. "I think I'd be a fool not to." She took his hand, kept walking. That's how you meet a moment with grace. Now I want to hear from you. Has a woman ever asked you something like this? And you weren't sure what it meant until it was too late? Be honest. The comments are a safe space here. And now, the one I told you about at the very beginning. The signal most men dismiss as nothing. It has no question attached to it. It has no words at all. It lives in how she positions herself near you, in how long her eyes stay on you before looking away, in how she finds a reason to touch your arm, just once, and how that touch lingers a half-second longer than it needed to. It lives in how she laughs at something you said, and then keeps smiling after the laugh is done. These are not accidents. Daniel, a widower, film club. A woman used to sit a little closer each week, would touch his hand during funny moments, laugh a second too long. He thought it was just her personality. One day, that quiet warmth just disappeared. She pulled back, became polite, formal. And only then did Daniel realize. She had been waiting for him to notice, not for weeks, for months. The moment had passed so quietly, he never even heard the door close. So here's what all of this is really about. After 50, attraction doesn't announce itself. It doesn't shout. It doesn't wave flags. It asks a soft question. It leans in with a smile. It waits, patiently, quietly, to see if you'll notice. Your job in those moments isn't to perform. It isn't to impress. It's to show up. To meet her with honesty and warmth, instead of cleverness and deflection. To notice. To respond. To be present. Because when you do that, you are not just another man in the room. You are the man who made her feel seen. And that changes everything. If this hit something inside you, if you recognized a moment from your own life in any of these stories, that's not an accident. That's exactly why I made this. Hit subscribe so you never miss a conversation like this one. Share this with a man in your life who needs to hear it. A brother, a friend, someone who's still carrying old patterns into new moments. And drop a comment. Tell me, which of these 7 signals have you been misreading? I want to know. I'll reply. Because men like us, we're not done. We still have everything to give. We just needed someone to remind us how to give.